I was trying to upload this video telling about a story when someone in my family hydro projected towards me. I think that's what it's called, hydro. Anyway, I'm gonna have to look up the word for what it is, but and when you become spiritually awakened, and you realize that you have to realize that there are a lot of people who would rather you just be blind to the fact of what they're doing in your life. Some people go through this whole ritual of trying to make you look bad or trying to do something to you to cause you harm. The one thing that I do know is that when you're chosen, you are heavenly protected, and but God does not want you to ever be ignorant to the situation and what's going on with you. So what he does is he will cause you to be open to receiving some of those forces that come up against you, just to open your eyes in order for, because some people don't even think or believe that magic or witchcraft even exists. I know I was one of those people. I was one of those people who did not even want to hear anything about witches or warlocks or anything like that. I didn't want, you couldn't have told me, somebody was doing something deliberately, especially somebody who I cared about and I loved, somebody in my family was doing something deliberately to harm me. You couldn't have told me that, but God made a way for me to be open to those things and showed me how the people actually operate in those type of demonic spirits. And now that I know that, and now that I'm more open to the possibilities of that, in order to be open to those things, you also have to go through the dark night of the soul. You have to go through a moment in your life where you're facing so much of your own darkness, your own personal darkness. I took a lot of time being alone. I took a lot of time being to myself and just being open to whatever spirit had to show me. And the Holy Spirit took me to places and events and showed me people who have passed away, people who are far away from me, that I don't even know them, and didn't even speak the same language. God showed me so much of the spiritual realm that I was like, okay, this really does exist. When you start seeing it for yourself, you open your eyes. There's no other choice. And a lot of times people don't recognize that they have to come into this opening or this particular realm in order to move forward in life. And we tend to downplay religion, or we don't put a lot of emphasis on religion. Is like a watered down version of spirituality. We don't put in forth the effort in order to know these things for ourselves. We don't study to show ourselves approved. So in that aspect, we're stuck, or we're out here in this world naive, not knowing a lot of things. Like spiritual warfare, that thing is serious. When it's time for you to come into contact with spiritual warfare, you need to be prepared, because a lot of us are not prepared. A lot of us, a lot of people are like I was, naive to the fact, and don't want to even hear it. Don't want to, anytime somebody says something like that, don't want to hear that. But when it's your time, when because God, like I said, God will not allow you to be out here ignorant. So when it's your time, when it's your time to come open into these things, God will show them to you, and He will show them to you in such a way that's so loving and so caring. But it may scare you. Some people don't even live through that. Some people don't even live through the dark morning of the dark night of the soul, because they are too busy wanting to go there for other reasons, and they're not prepared. They're not prepared for what they're getting ready to see. And a lot of times there are people out here being used, and they don't even know they're being used. They are being vessels for the enemy, and they don't even know that they're vessels. I mean, they actually believe that they are regular degular people, when they are actually being possessed by a demon. And when you come into a realization of this can happen, and there's a possibility of this, that's when your eyes start opening. That's when you start doing things differently. That's when you start changing. You switch up on everybody. God will tell you who you can be around, who you can't be around, because a lot of those things, a lot of those spirits come against you or come on you because you're living in low vibrational lives, and you're living in low vibrational spirits. A lot of that is, and I'm reminded of Lot's wife, who kept looking back, and she turned to the pillar of salt. Well, she kept looking back towards the life that she was leaving. She was yearning for the life that she always lived, reliving the past. And God is trying to get us to move forward. When the past has passed, it's time to move on. So I just wanted to share, my experience. I had an experience where I was sitting out on my balcony, and all of a sudden I heard this voice come to me. My sister, I astral projected towards me, and she told me that I had to choose. I had to choose who I wanted to sacrifice. And I'm like, first of all, I heard my younger sister say, "Don't scare her," and I heard her voice so clear. And then it made me recognize who the other voice who told me to choose. It made me recognize who that voice was by hearing one sister's voice. But when she told me to choose, I was like, okay. I mean, I recognized the voices, so I was like, I choose Daddy. And they all was like, like shocked, like interesting enough, they were really shocked, but they were also happy. They also rejoiced because I chose and I listened to the voices, and I allowed them to push me into something that they thought I didn't know who they were. They didn't know that I was aware of who they were. So when I said I choose Daddy, I actually thought that saying that would make them recognize that I knew who they were, but it didn't. And when that was all said and done, I went into my prayer closet and I asked God, what is this? What's going on here? What is this thing that causes them to do this? And that's when I had a dream. And in this dream, it was just as clear as day. It was like God was showing me that it has come. This is a new day, basically. In my dream, there was this sign, big old sign that said a new day. And there was this Arab man sitting behind the counter, and I was walking into this store, and people was just running around everywhere, frantic, just grabbing stuff and moving and getting stuff. They're just grabbing things. And they was just losing their mind, buying stuff and getting stuff, purchasing things. And I was just walking through, and I looked at the man, and he was behind the counter, and he did this. And when I looked up, the sign was there, but the sign was written in Arabic. However, I could read the sign, and the sign said, "This is a new day." And that just brought me to a realization. God just showed me that things are no longer like they were. People are doing things in the spirit realm to other people, and God's people, as a matter of fact, and they're causing them to causing them to, commit suicide. It's causing them to think that they're crazy when they're not, and it's causing them to have problems mentally. But when you are strongly and heavily protected by God, I have a legion of angels that are behind me and around me and surrounding me everywhere I go. I have no reason to fear. You don't have any reason to fear when you got God. You have no reason to come up against no reason to come up against anything with negativity. You stay positive. You have to. You got to stay positive. You have to continue to build yourself up in the word. The word tells us that we are strong with with this foundation that we have. We stand strong, and the word says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, nor every tongue that rises up against me every tongue that rises up against me shall be condemned. And I believe the word. I stand on the word. God told me a long time ago to rehearse the promises, and I did not understand why God was telling me to rehearse the promises, and I continued to rehearse the promises over and over and over and over and over again until they were embedded in my heart. So now I'm understanding the reason why God prepared me then and told me to rehearse the promises, because he knew the demonic spirits that were going to come up against me because of what I'm getting ready to do and what my path in God is. So I'm coming here to just let you know that, if you ever felt like something was wrong or something's going on, and in your heart that you haven't done anything, in your heart that you have been a person who has maintained good faith in God, and that your heart is pure, then you have no reason to fear. You have no reason to doubt what God is telling you. And he's going to let you know what it is. All you have to do is open yourself up and acknowledge him. Just say, God, I acknowledge you. I ask that you will come into my heart, that you would tell me and explain to me and let it be known what it is that I need to know. Reveal to me the secrets that I need to know in order to understand this thing that I'm going through. He will grant you that prayer. Believe me. And he will show you every person. He will show you every person one by one as they have attacked you in the spiritual realm. He will show you who they are. And all you got to do, you don't even have to do anything. I know a lot of people is like, call your energy back, this and that. You don't have to do anything. God will fight for you. He said vengeance is his, and he has the power. He will actually call recompense to come to you, and you don't have to call recompense to come to your enemies. And you don't have to do a thing. All you have to do is let God know that you are open to whatever God has for you. You are open. You are open to however God wants to bless you, and however you receive those blessings, that's unto you. But God will show you every person that have come up against you, every person who has tried to hurt you, harm, or steal anything from you. He will show you their faces. Trust me. He'll show you and let you know. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's time out. I've been silent for a long time, and it's just time out for silence. It's time out for, people of God to be in silent. It's time out for us being silent. We are no longer just in our prayer closets. We're going to speak up and call those things as though they were. We're going to speak out against those things that are not of God and call them out. That's it, and that's all. Have a good day.